Angel Reese recently made one of the boldest statements in WNBA history, demanding higher pay and threatening to boycott the league. However, just days later, her follow-up performance was anything but convincing, a masterclass in missed shots. Some might even call it a Brick Lane clinic.
It's like a greatest hits collection of missed layups. I can't even believe this is real. I just stumbled across of it. There's 2 different videos now floating around out there, and it's unbelievable.
While demanding superstar money on her podcast, Reese followed up with an underwhelming performance, shooting 5 for 13 in her next game, hardly unrivaled. One of her shots even hit the bottom of the backboard. The timing couldn't have been worse or funnier, depending on which side of the spectacle you're watching from. Let's break it down.
Because I'm hearing like, yeah, if y'all don't give us what we want, like, we said, that's a possibility.
I guarantee you, the intelligent folks, and there are in the WNBA, are saying, well, you two, it's just shut up. Sit out.
Sure, y'all benefited from everything. Y'all youngins benefited from NIL. What does that mean? We deserve more.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if a WNBA player threatened to shut down the entire league? Well, Angel Reese just did exactly that. In a recent episode of her podcast Unapologetically Angel, Reese sat down with fellow player Dee Carrington and delivered what might be the most audacious ultimatum in WNBA history. She didn't just suggest changes to the league's pay structure. She outright threatened to take her ball and go home if her demands weren't met.
I love how y'all have selective hearing. I said I'm hearing if they don't give us what we want, we sitting out. And that's the truth. Good.
This is the same person that literally said she didn't know what her WNBA salary was and that it didn't even cover her rent.
Let's talk numbers for a second. Reese's rookie contract pays her about $73,000 in her first year as part of a 4-year deal worth approximately $325,000 in total. That's a standard rookie scale. However, according to Angel herself, this salary doesn't even cover her basic expenses. In a TikTok rant, she stated plainly, "The WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think it pays one of my bills, literally."
I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Let me do the math real quick.
Might cover that. Yeah,
what is my? I don't even know my salary.
The financial disconnect becomes even more glaring when you consider Reese's revelation about her $8,000 monthly rent. That's $96,000 per year on housing alone. This means her entire WNBA salary wouldn't even cover her apartment for a full year. While it's likely she earned significantly more from endorsement deals to sustain her lifestyle, this kind of tone-deaf attitude isn't exactly winning over fans.
No, my rent is more than that. It's $8,000. I'm living beyond my means.
What makes this situation particularly fascinating is that, rather than backpedaling after her podcast comments gained traction, Reese doubled down. She took to social media to reinforce a boycott threat, making it crystal clear that this wasn't just podcast banter. She's genuinely prepared to sit out if her financial demands aren't met.
She just threatened the lawyer. If y'all don't give us what we want, we sitting out. This is why sometimes you probably should have somebody look over a podcast. She's threatening to go on strike. I actually understand the way negotiations work in the CBA, not on a podcast.
But here's where Reese's argument starts to fall apart. She expressed particular frustration over future rookies potentially owning more than her, players like Juju Watkins, who will enter the league in 2026 or 2027. The ones coming in this year will still be on the rookie contract, but the ones after that, they are going to get more. They are probably going to be making more than us. It's a complaint that reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of how WNBA contracts work.
But the women coming in, not this year, but next year.
Yeah.
The ones coming in this year will still be on the rookie contract.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that the year after, they're gonna get more. They probably gonna be making more than us. They are. Like, I've been in the meetings. They are.
The reality is simple, but seemingly lost on Reese. She signed a standard rookie-scale contract that locks her in for 4 years, until 2027. That's how collective bargaining agreements, CBAs, function in professional sports. Even if the WNBA negotiates a new CBA that increases rookie salaries, Reese would still be bound by the terms of her existing contract. Her boycott threat essentially asked the league to tear up a legally binding agreement simply because she's now unhappy with it, and potentially jealous of the new rookies under the revised CBA.
Like if I'm an NBA owner, I didn't get rich by wasting a couple million on something that has no chance of making money. These two, sit out. See what happens. Now, I would miss watching the Fever. I would miss watching Caitlin Clark, but I wouldn't miss anything else.
This disconnect becomes even more problematic when you consider the WNBA's financial reality. Despite record viewership and attendance last season, the league still lost approximately $40 million. The economic foundation simply isn't there to support the kind of mid-contract renegotiation Reese seems to be demanding.
You lost 50 million. You know who would clap for you all sitting out? The NBA. So they don't have to subsidize your dumbasses to the tune of 40 to 50 million a year.
When you make demands this bold, you'd better have the performance to back them up. This raises an important question. Does Angel Reese's on-court production justify special treatment that no other player in the league receives? Should someone shooting 39% from the field, with the worst shooting percentage within 5 feet of the basket, be the exception to contractual rules that apply to everyone else?
As a club, it's not being a three-pointer. Great turnaround, no good. Final third in the league in three-point field goals. Reese looks to stick with it, hands it back. Angel Reese, no.
As if the basketball universe wanted to respond directly to Angel Reese's ultimatum, her very next game turned into what can only be described as a layup clinic, though not the kind anyone would pay to attend. Just days after making her bold salary demands, Reese stepped onto the unrivaled league court to face off against Aliyah Boston's Vinyl Basketball Club. What unfolded next became internet gold for all the wrong reasons.
Reese last night, once again, had one of the worst shooting games in the history of planet Earth. For what's supposed to be a big... I mean, what in the hell is going on here? I understand her team won. I get it. 5 of 13 from the field. 13 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, only 10 points.
Let's talk about that 5-4-13 shooting performance. In basketball, making layups is a fundamental skill. It's basketball 101. But Angel Reese seemed to forget the basics at the worst possible moment. The most jaw-dropping moment came when one of her layup attempts somehow hit the bottom of the backboard. Not the rim, not the net, but the bottom of the backboard. That's the kind of shot you'd expect from someone who's never touched a basketball before, not from someone demanding a bigger paycheck.
This is the same player that just came out and said, if they don't pay them the bag in the WNBA, we sitting out. Quote, we sitting out. What? I mean, after seeing her miss routine layups over and over and over again, I'm like, how the hell can this person possibly be demanding more money from anyone?
The sequence was almost painful to watch. Multiple attempts directly under the basket at point-blank range, the kind of shots players have practiced since elementary school. Yet somehow, they weren't falling. And not just missing, but missing in spectacular fashion, one shot after another clanking off the rim or missing entirely, while defenders, hardly believing their luck, grabbed the rebounds.
The Sykes lofts it up. Reese on the cleanup. Power dribble to separate.
The internet, predictably, had a field day as clips of Reese's missed layups went viral. Fans responded with comments dripping in sarcasm. Pay her, please, and give her the max appeared repeatedly under videos of her bricks. Others didn't hold back, labeling Reese a bricklayer and questioning her offensive skills with remarks like, she is so overrated, and Reese is the only one I've seen make a layup look hard.
Guys, how many times have I said, she shouldn't be practicing no jumper nowhere. I mean, she ought to be just layup after layup after layup. Because let's be real, a lot of the heat she takes is because of this. And it's because it's not to be believed.
Some observant fans even noticed that Reese managed to grab 2 offensive rebounds on multiple possessions where she missed her layups. This led to speculation that she might have been intentionally missing shots to inflate her rebounding stats. Now that's a conspiracy theory that actually makes you stop and think.